新年快乐! Happy Chinese New Year! I know it was last week, but technically the Chinese celebrate for 2 weeks, and that is also why I have picked the book that I am presenting today. And this book is called The Chinese Children's Favorite Stories. It is a traditional literature book because it's a collection of Chinese legends compiled together as a children's book to share the legends with children as bedtime stories. And so, as you can see in the table of contents, there are several stories that are there within this book. I'm just going to go through one of my favorites, which was actually the first story, and it's called The Fish Basket Goddess. And so this story is about a village who uses a river to trade, commute, and be in contact with each other and around the world. But one day, a dragon comes and it just makes tons of waves and puts people in danger from crossing the river. As you can see, the pictures are very vibrant, very colorful, lots of swirls, not just for the waves, but just to create a more mystical, olden time and mood for interacting with kids. And so this dragon comes, he makes waves, and he's just making a mess. And so the goddess of compassion and mercy, which is Guanyin in the Chinese culture, comes down, tries to negotiate with him, but he doesn't really care. He just wants to have his fun. And so instead, after negotiation, she goes to the village and she has this contest where the person who can throw the most coins in the basket will become her husband, or if no one gets in the basket, then the money that's left over will be used to build a bridge. And so no one wins, but instead there's a bridge made, and the dragon is now gone and doesn't make any waves. And I think that's a great story, one of the great examples of these stories, because it problem solves. It's a great thing to teach kids early on to realize that they can solve problems, and especially in different ways. Like, the goddess first tried to negotiate, but it didn't work, and so instead of just giving up, she tried something else. And I think that's one of the great things about these stories is they have different morals, and so not only is there problem solving, but there's about courage and being kind to others and working hard, and that you will receive rewards if you work hard. There's tales about selflessness and humility, and I think it's a great way to introduce different cultures. This book is actually a part of a series, so this is the Chinese version, there's a Japanese version, a Korean version, and I think that's really great to not only learn about different cultures, but to see what other people learn and interact and what they believe in. Some things I would caution with this book for parents or for people in general is there's definitely differences on what's in the story. For example, there's this king who's being taunted by a ghost, and another ghost who's the protector of the king protects him, but by eating the ghost. And so that might be something that could be a little unsure to share with kids, depending on your preference. I know the last story in this book, which is about the Monkey King, which is a very well-known ancient Chinese legend about humility. I know that this version isn't exactly like how other versions are. It doesn't include some stuff. And so that's one thing, is that you could shorten the stories to what you feel is appropriate for your kids. But I would definitely stay true to the legend. And so that's definitely why I picked this as a traditional literature, because it uses the stories to teach a moral, but also be careful that there's some other stuff in here that may be very different because it's a different culture. But that's one thing that I love about these type of things, is that kids are able to travel the world and learn about others and become more aware of the world around them. And so I love this book. I would recommend to anyone. Because of some of the controversies, I would probably say, depending on the parent, age like 7 and above, or if if the parent's okay with all the stories and like what details it gives, then definitely like 4 or above, because Chinese kids hear these stories as well. And so I definitely love this book, and I would highly recommend it. And thanks for watching.